Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I am back with you today with these three cards that were made in my 30-minute warm up. So, I've taken one of my mushroom boxes and I've created this scrap box, if you will, but I am somewhat intentional about what I put in here. And it is going to be my warm up box. So, sometimes I don't get to craft all week long. And then I'll sit down on a Saturday and need to make videos, and my juices just aren't flowing. And so, I know a lot of artists, particularly like artists who draw or paint, they do warm up exercises to literally get their hands moving, coordinated. And I thought I would incorporate that into my card making. So, this is my warm up box, and today I just grabbed like first stack of papers I had folded together. These are something that I had put together out of my last processing video when I processed all my paper, all my scrap paper. And then I'd had ephemera that I didn't know what to do with. Of course, I could have put it back like these birds with the stamp set, but no. So, anyways, this was a lot of fun. I set a timer for 30 minutes, and I honestly was done at 24 minutes. I had everything made, cleaned up, put away in 24 minutes. So these are very fast cards. The idea is not to get bogged down in design, but at the same time, I want to make something, you know, um, nice enough to use, to give, to share. So, you know, I want to make pretty cards, but I want to make them quickly. So, sometimes I don't have a lot of time to be in the craft room. So 30 minutes might not always be possible, but even I think a 15-minute warm up would be a benefit. And so here I'm just layering all these different pieces. I had been playing with some new embossing powders and made all these happy birthday sentiments with them, so those really came in handy. And I've always loved these sparrow stamps, but I actually don't think I've ever used them in a card until now. I had embossed some of them a while back and just could never figure out how I wanted to use them in a card. I did do some really cool mixed media paintings that I did incorporate them into, but never into a card. So yeah, I'm just going to tack all this stuff down and move on rather quickly. This paper, it's a DC pack, DCWV, I think is what it's called. Anyways, it's one of their paper packs, and I love every side of the paper. Like, I love the colors and the images. Oh, it's always so hard to put tape on one side because I'm like, oh, maybe I want to use that side. But I didn't allow myself to question it here. I just went for it. So, do you have a warm up exercise that you do in the craft room? I feel like if I got to craft every day, and I've been telling myself, even just for 15 minutes, just sit and craft or journal every day for a minimum of 15 minutes, I really feel like my creativity soars. It's, like the blood just stays pumping. But when I have to, and sometimes I just don't have a choice. In my career, sometimes, duty calls, and I just have to take care of business, if you know what I mean. But, and that's where I've been for the last 2 months, really. But if I could just carve out that time, I notice a difference in my creations. I notice, how much more fluid everything is, how much more open-minded I am to my ideas. It's really beneficial. If you get to craft every day, count it as a blessing. It truly is. So here I'm just bringing in my pre-made card bases, and I decide on the white. And this is a very similar design. What I like about this is that angled cut for the brighter piece. I wouldn't think to cut the paper at an angle like that, but it was a scrap and I liked it. So I kept it and I actually made it slightly more dramatic so it would be obviously intentional. This piece right here, I like that. That's something I might, incorporate into a more intentional design at some point. And that's what's really fun about this process. Anytime you're just playing and, my craft room is full, it's overflowing. So that can get overwhelming at times because you have everything to play with. So it's kind of fun when I limit myself, like, okay, you can only play with this stack of papers that you just randomly pulled out of this box. Make it work. At times, like with this one, I get new and fresh ideas that I wouldn't normally just try on my own. So this next card, I just love this paper. I love bunnies. When I was a little girl, I had a bunny named Eva, and she actually lived in my bedroom. She was litter trained, and I had a dog too. I had Bear. So I had Bear and Eva, and she was so sweet. I just loved her so much. So I have just a love for bunnies. So I wanted to use this paper. And the other side of this paper is super cute too. You'll see it when I flip it over to tape it down. It has these really adorable clouds on it. That's what's hard about this paper, is that I don't want to cut into it. So I'm going to play a lot with this one. And I'm not crazy about the results that I got with this card, but that's okay. Again, this is a playtime. And I know that somebody will still enjoy getting it. I give a free card typically in all my Etsy orders. So, I can pop it in there and give it as a free gift to someone. No problem at all. And that's probably exactly where this one will go. And hopefully the recipient will like it, or the person that they're giving it to. So when I give free cards in my Etsy shop, for orders, I don't sign them. I leave them blank so that the customer can use them in their life. So I'm pretty sure that's where this one will go. And I really experimented, but I am trying to remind myself to edit. So, I'm playing with all kinds of things, but I do keep editing myself. I'm thinking about sentiments. I had really liked this paper, which was the back, and these are the last scraps that I have of it. So I decided to maximize the scrap and use that up. And I am really careful about the bunnies. Like, I don't want to have half a bunny necessarily, so I was trying to be considerate of that and decide which ones would show and which ones would not. This paper was slightly crooked, so I had to keep trimming it up. And this part I like. It was just, I struggled with the decorative, ephemera type elements to the card. I think it would have been really cute if I just put some ribbon where those two pattern papers meet. And I think I might have even liked it more, and then just put the sentiment on the inside of the card. That's not how it goes. I don't stop there. And that's what I'm talking about with editing. It's funny when, making videos, you go back And oftentimes I'm like, oh, well, that would have been interesting if I would have just left it that way or done this, but I don't have that foresight while I'm creating. I still think it's a cute card. I would be happy to get it. I left all this in so that you could see how much I played and all the elements that I tried, because that really is the point of the warm-up, is to play and warm up my critical thinking in the craft room and my creative thinking in the craft room. So this piece is really cool. This is an embossing folder that I have in my collection that looks like a doily. And then I just cut it out whenever I emboss it so that I have an embossed doily. And I like to have a few of these around from time to time. I think this is my last one that I have made currently, so I need to make some more. They're super simple. I just emboss the paper with the embossing. There's the cute clouds with the embossing folder, and then trim out the edges. And they're a fun element. I wanted to trim this leaf a little bit because I didn't want it poking the bunny in the face. And that's it. I finally get to a stopping place of this card. And as a reminder, I was able to clean up and put everything away within 24 minutes. So here are the final images. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.